Back in the days when the huge gold nuggets were found in Victoria, most people were so impressed with the sheer size and number found in the relatively small gullies that they thought they actually grew on the surface of the earth. When you consider on average 4 to 8 gold nuggets weighing over 50 ounces each, and hundreds of smaller gold nuggets were often found clean and very pure with no quartz in them at all. It is a well-known fact that gold originates in quartz reefs, and pieces over half an ounce are actually quite rare in the reefs themselves.
I wonder if that's a mine shaft. The only way to find out is to jump in. There's no way I'm jumping in.
Good luck.
Now, well, that sort of tells me that this could be the outcrop. The old timers found it. This is the quartz outcrop containing gold.
My point is that the large pieces found in these areas had to have come from the reefs. Anyhow, the theory was that the chemicals in the dirt would act just like an electroplating process we know of today in a laboratory or factory. The only thing that was missing in the theory was the electrical current to carry the particles in the ground to coat the gold pieces, but they eventually explained the whole process with a large concentration of lightning bolt strikes which struck the trees and earth over the millions of years. And the evidence they obtained certainly well supported this idea and almost became the accepted theory as how the Victorian goldfields had so many large gold nuggets, and in such small pockets of ground the earth was said to be rich in gold.
Look at the size of those holes.
But the interesting thing here is that these gullies had the larger gold pieces in the narrower, once upper section of the gully, and they were often less than 2 feet deep. And a new generation of gold detector can quite easily find these larger pieces even at this depth. But the old timers often didn't follow the drifts down to the once lower parts because the gold pieces are smaller and more spread out. It's commonly reported that the old timers would often be plagued by mosquitoes in these areas, especially because they often contain water, and the old timers would abandon the goldfield for that very reason. And if you follow the direction from these mine shafts to the gullies where the old timers once found the gold pieces, you can be reasonably assured of success. And once you find one, there is a good chance that you will find many others around, and the odd large piece as well. But the direction straight to the gold-rich gullies are often very confusing, as there are many gullies around and the right direction may be up, over, or even on the side of a hill, and may even have a layer of topsoil on the surface.
Now that kind of quartzy ground there is pretty good. It's mineralized. What you've got to stay away from is this type of earth here. It's very soft, very flowery. It's only got the light pieces of silver foil, bits of iron, bits of rubbish.
But here is an important tip. Take note of the trees. Trees adapt to the changing ground conditions very slowly. Dead or dying trees is a dead giveaway as to where the gold is, because the lower sections were often ancient lakes or water saturated areas where the trees died young because of wet feet or too much heavy mineralization to adapt to. The gully you see here had a huge number of really big gold nuggets less than 2 feet deep.
I always like looking at the trees because it tells you the age of the area and whether the ground or not has been disturbed around the area. That's a very old tree, that one. Actually found my first gold nugget, quarter ouncer, beside a tree exactly like that, or a stump, a rotted out old stump. It's funny how you remember these things.
It seems that gold truly doesn't belong on the surface of the ground, but it is often found that way. So how do the scientists explain something which belongs underground so often be found on top? But potato-sized nuggets were found all throughout this area and in the gullies. Obviously, many of the mountains we see are pushed up by underground forces, and some areas are eroded over time, which allows the heavier materials to gather in the lower sections of the gullies. Actually, that's a runoff from a gully, but huge gold nuggets are found right around this area, which is why you find rocks on top of the ground, but are most often found deeper underground, and why topsoil is mostly found on top of it. But very little beats the surprise of finding huge gold nuggets in what often looks like plain old dirt, and there's still plenty more out there. Nowadays they call them retirement nuggets. Anyhow, if you want to see where the old timers used to put the shovel in the ground, and if they didn't hear the clang of gold, they would simply toss the dirt aside, and you would like to see the exact spot where the world's largest gold nugget was found in the same area, that's the Welcome Stranger, 76 kilograms of 24 karat gold, and we will show you how to find several gold nuggets for yourself in the exact same spot. In other words, there are many secrets revealed in the movie that even professional prospectors will be surprised to learn.